to today's podcast. My name is Rawan Itani. I am a trainee journalist at Pulse Social Sports, and today we are joined by Umer Farooq. And yeah, I was wondering if you could start off by introducing yourself and a little
Yeah,
bit of your university and work life.
yeah, that's fine. I'm Umer Farooq. I'm currently a sports journalist on the Post Social, and I am a international politics student currently studying at City University on my just finished my second year, going on to third year, and I'm also a part-time sales assistant at a retail store.
And within that, how have you been able to fit in any sports? Has it been a busy time at uni and like is it difficult to arrange any time for any hobbies that you have in sports?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been quite difficult ever since university started. Maybe when I was younger, it was quite easier because I usually go with my friends. So when it was school, we all had really the same schedule. But once uni started, that all really changed. Some of us are working, some of us have university at different times. So it's been quite harder since I've started university, but we still try and make time once or twice a week for some sports. Go to our local power league or goals, try and fit in a football session whenever we can, or badminton, maybe basketball sometimes. But it's been quite an adjustment since starting university.
And what was your sports, taking part in sports like when you were younger? Were you very active?
Um, I would say it was a bit of both. There was like maybe like 1, 2 year period where I wasn't doing sports as much as I probably would have liked to. It was just really probably like in secondary school where I would just do PE and then that was really it. But as I grew older, I realized the benefits of sports mentally and physically, and it's something I enjoyed as well, and it's something I just wanted to start doing again. So around like 4 or 5 years ago, I started going with my friends more, going doing football more, and then a few years ago, started going basketball, swimming, and even badminton now recently.
Amazing. It sounds like you've taken part in a lot of different types of sports.
Yeah.
Um, and I was wondering, what is your earliest memory of football? Because I know you mentioned that you used to play football when you were younger. And yeah, what is your earliest memory of that?
My earliest memory is probably just seeing, cause I'm like 20, turning 21. So
Yeah.
back in the day, like 2010, 9, 11-ish, ITV was free TV. So and they had the rights to some football matches like Champions League. So
Hmm.
I just remember like watching some Champions League matches when I was really young, and that really got me into football. Uh, got me into supporting Arsenal. So I still support them to this day. But I would say the free TV, not having access to all the channels when I was younger, but still like being able to see football in those types of channels, it really um helped me really like football as I grew older and when I was younger, and it helped me gain an interest in it initially.
Yeah, I think for me as well, when I was watching the World Cup when I was younger, I
Yeah,
think that gave me an interest in sports, and I could hear my neighbors all celebrating, and it is a really big community thing where you can see people come
yeah,
together and watch football. So yeah, I think that was a big thing for me as well.
yeah, 100%. And it's like the biggest competitions were on in the like Champions League, the Euros, the World Cup. They were all on free TV during those times. I mean, the World Cup and Euros still are. Champions League isn't anymore, but
Mm.
that's what really like got a lot of people into football when they're younger. And of course, I live in London, so it's a really like, we live in England. I mean, so we live in a very like football orientated country. So I feel like I was gonna get into it like l sooner than most people would.
Yeah, and in terms of all these sports that you've mentioned,
Yeah,
during COVID and lockdown, how did that change? Were you able to continue with them?
football not so much. Swimming obviously not at all. But during COVID, I bought a basketball hoop.
Hmm.
So I was just whenever I could like get some exercise in my garden, play a bit of basketball. Um, I also had some a badminton net, so I would also play badminton, try and keep fit, active. But those are some of the only two sports I was doing during COVID times. Football, all the I wasn't doing no football at all, and neither was I doing swimming.
Yeah, I think it was a very difficult time during COVID, and everybody was becoming very creative with their sports and trying
Yeah.
to stay healthy and active as much as possible with not being able to leave the house. What drew you towards basketball, and how do you compare that passion to football? Is there one that you're more passionate about, or are they all equally as interesting for you and fun to take part in?
Yeah, so I think it was around. So when it comes to basketball, I like all types of basketball, but obviously I watch the NBA the most, as it's the most popular basketball league in the world.
Mhm.
So I think around 2019, there was a lot of clips going around of the Toronto Raptors, their championship winning season. And that just seeing those clips all around, I was thinking this is a really cool sport. I like how they do I like the shooting motions of it. I liked a lot of aspects of basketball. But during that time I was still like really like heavily orientated on watching football all the time. And around 2019, 2020, Arsenal weren't the best. So it was like I needed another sport to get my mind off Arsenal.
Mm.
And basketball, I started watching it, I think, a little before lockdown, like 2019, so just before lockdown. Unfortunately, then like 2020, the all the leagues in the world were cancelled. But I think gaming as well helped me get into basketball. It helped me get a better understanding of basketball as a sport itself. Um,
That's
and
interesting.
that's what really, yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you like about the gaming part. So playing the game, you mean like online, like FIFA
yeah.
and those sorts of things? Did that motivate you to go out and play the sports more, or was it like the technique as well? Did that change anything for you?
100%. As much as I'd say like watching the clips from the 2019 season helped me want to get into basketball because there was a lot of aspects of it I liked. I think the gaming aspect is probably what connected me more with it because during that time period, COVID lockdown, we had all day to ourselves. So me and my friends would be gaming a lot. So there'd be a lot of FIFA, but it'd always been just FIFA. And then we'd got into NBA 2K. And then that's what really propelled me and my friends to like start taking an interest in basketball. And then when the season started again, we this was like the first time I ever started watching basketball live. Obviously, like the timings are a bit crazy because it's American timings.
Yeah,
Um, it propelled me to like play it in real life with my friends. But yeah, I'd say gaming and just like watching the clips are really what made me interested in basketball. In terms of passion, I as much as I like basketball, I've known of football like for a good 15, 16 years longer. So I think my passion with football will always be a bit bigger than it is with basketball, but both are great sports regardless.
amazing. And was there anybody in your life who ever encouraged you to go out and play sports or to become professional in any of them, or was it a passion from within?
It was a bit of both. It was a passion from within. I was always an active kid when I was younger. I always wanted to do stuff. I always wanted to run around, play football, badminton from when I was younger, even a bit of cricket when I was younger. And my dad and mum, and they also used to encourage me to go out, be active, don't sit at home all day. So
Mm.
it was definitely a bit of both, passion within. And then I'd say my friends as well. Like me and my friends were all quite active people. We always want to go do something in terms of this, like a sport, whether that's swimming, basketball, football, or badminton. So I'd say like combination of those three things.
And today, how are you able to go out and play sports? So for me, it's going to the gym or, signing up for swimming. Are you able to like rent out pitches with your friends? I've heard that some people do that because there's so many places within London that you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that or are there any like football clubs that you go to?
Not any football clubs, but with as I said, like with my friends, I'm usually that's probably the most where I partake in sports with my friends. But it's for football, it's usually renting out pitches like the local power league will try to find a pitch in the local power league, rent it out for an hour or two. Badminton is a bit of the same, rent out a court. Um, Basketball, you can find some free courts around like a park or something. And swimming, you got to pay for it. But it's really renting out pitches, renting out halls. That's really what it is.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that we're able to have such easy access.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
just about bringing together a group of friends or people from your community to go take part in sports with you. Um, because they are really sociable things that are so helpful
Yeah.
to, you know, keep talking to people. And what role did sports play in your personal life and social interactions?
I mean, I don't want to keep linking this back to my friends, but majority, when you grow up in London, football's
Yeah.
really a big aspect in like making friends, socializing with people. And I think the connection of football definitely helped me a lot in making friends when I was younger, older. It's like when you meet someone new for the first time, one of the first questions you ask them is like, what team do you support? And it's just like you have a good 1, 2 minute chat just from that. And it's like you build a connection just from like the team you support, your discussions in football. I would definitely say that it helped me quite a lot in my social life.
Yeah, it is really important to because it makes it easier to make friends. Like you said, you can
Yeah,
talk about football if you're not playing football. You can talk about these sports, the tournaments, the matches that are
yeah,
coming up. Um,
exactly.
did you ever notice that there was a lack of inclusivity, or is there anything that you changed?
Say like the lack of inclusivity. I mean, when I was younger, these power league pitches were about £1, £2 per person. There's other pitches that are £1 to £2 per person. We're living in a cost of living crisis right now, and power league pitches are around £9 each for a person, and not everyone will be able to afford that growing up. When I was younger, it was way easier, like £1, £2 per person, and now it's nearly almost a tenner, which may not seem like a lot, but a lot of people won't be able to afford that type of luxury.
Yeah, I think if you want to stay consistent in sports, those kinds of fees can be discouraging for some people.
Yeah,
Yeah. And even with signing up to the gym, for me, I noticed that like I put it off sometimes or I cancel some memberships because it
yeah,
is quite expensive. But I recently discovered that my university has a gym where
yeah,
you can sign up and it's like half the price of any membership that I saw around where I live. So yeah, I think making it accessible to everybody, not just like, because
yeah,
the pictures are there, the sports places are there, the
yeah,
prices, I understand that maybe there could be initiatives to put in some sort of student discounts for students. So I think that's something that hopefully somebody will explore and push for because it would be helpful for students.
yeah. Definitely, I think it's really important for younger people to be able to focus on sports in early on in their lives. It could like help them many things, but if the prices keep going up for playing football, for example, probably the most popular sport in this country, a lot of people won't be able to access that.
And I think you mentioned as well that growing up, certain things were free to watch for
Yeah,
sports,
exactly.
but now that's changed.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing's free to watch anymore. I mean, other than international tournaments, which happen once every 4 years, uh, there was no Champions League. I think even there was the Spanish league used to come on ITV as well back around 10 years ago. So
Mhm.
now that we've lost a few of these big tournaments, it's going to be harder for people that can't afford to get the TV boxes or Skybox to watch these types of things to help them get into the sport.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it does create some sort of image that you have to have privilege to be very
Yeah,
immersed in these sports and, to know about them and to watch them,
without a doubt. Yeah.
you have to be privileged. So I hope that there will be in the future some sort of programs to make these. to make it equal and fair for everybody. I was wondering as well, how do you think that we can make sports more inclusive?
Yeah, just to add on to my other point, what I was just saying is definitely it has to appeal to people of all wealth. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It should appeal to everyone. Back in the day, it was more accessible for everyone, so a lot of people could access the same thing. Unfortunately, nowadays it doesn't seem like that's the case anymore. Whether that's through watching it on the TV, whether that's playing it through the games on the games where it's like even the games each are about £80 now,
Mm,
and you gotta have like the newest console for that, or the Power League pitches where it's £10 each for a person. Which like if you do that like once a month, it's like okay, but you can't keep doing that every week. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, so the consistency is difficult.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think there are some very important points there that hopefully will reach someone and somebody will make a difference, or maybe it's, inspired you or me to try and make a difference,
Yeah,
and reach out to the people who can change this for students or those from less privileged backgrounds, so that sports can be an equal environment where anybody can take part.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's fine.
Thank you for joining me on the podcast.